text, audio, and video news of the globe from Scientific Television. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe with us. Thank you.
Now listen to the headline news. Trump repeats threat to annex Danish territory. Timothy's shout-out for Kylie and other moments from Critics' Choice Awards. Moment more than 80,000 teddy bears fly onto ice rink. The American way of life is about to change. How the 1973 oil crisis forced Nixon to rethink time. South Korea's Lee Jae-myung meets China's Xi as he seeks to reset ties. Bluefin tuna fetches record $3.2 million at Tokyo auction. Iran protests enter 9th day as Trump renews intervention threat. All 116 injured in Swiss ski resort fire identified. No bail for Indian activists after 5 years in jail without trial. 32 Cubans killed during U.S. attack on Venezuela, 2 out of 10. How England's bowling unraveled in Sydney. UK regulator asks X about reports its AI makes sexualized images of children. Over 100 firefighters on the scene of Denver blaze. Uganda denies plans to block internet during election. Celtic sack manager Nancy after 8 games. Now listen to the main detailed news. Donald Trump has again proposed annexing Greenland, arguing it is necessary for U.S. national security because of its strategic Arctic location and mineral resources. Denmark and Greenland strongly rejected the idea, calling it unrealistic and disrespectful of international law. Greenland's prime minister dismissed the proposal as a fantasy, while Denmark emphasized NATO membership and existing defense agreements with the U.S., urging respect for sovereignty. At the 2026 Critics' Choice Awards in Santa Monica, Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor for his role in Marty Supreme and made headlines by thanking his girlfriend Kylie Jenner and saying he loved her on stage. Jessie Buckley won Best Actress for Hamnet, while British drama Adolescence claimed 4 awards. The ceremony, hosted by Chelsea Handler, celebrated excellence across film, television, and streaming. At an American Hockey League game in Hershey, Pennsylvania, fans created sweet, cuddly mayhem as 81,796 stuffed toys rained onto the ice after the Hershey Bears scored against the Rockford Ice Hogs. The spectacle, known as the annual Teddy Bear Toss, has been a club tradition since 2001. Following the dramatic moment, the Bears confirmed the toys would be donated to more than 60 local charities across the surrounding region. In January 1974, during a severe oil crisis, the U.S. introduced year-round daylight saving time, forcing clocks forward in midwinter. Announced by President Richard Nixon, the move aimed to conserve energy by extending daylight in the evenings. However, it meant darker mornings for workers, commuters, and schoolchildren. The policy quickly became controversial and was nicknamed the Second Dark Age by critics and the media. South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung is meeting Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing to repair strained relations between the two countries. The talks covered trade ties, regional security, North Korea, and China's unofficial restrictions on Korean pop culture. This is Lee's first visit to China since taking office, and the first by a South Korean leader since 2019, marking a significant diplomatic effort to stabilize relations with Seoul's largest trading partner. A massive bluefin tuna sold for a record 510.3 million yen at Tokyo's Toyosu Fish Market during the first auction of the year. The 243-kilogram fish was bought by Kiyomiura Corp., operator of the Sushi Zanmai chain. Company president Kiyoshi Kimura, known as the Tuna King, said the New Year's first tuna brings good luck. The purchase broke his previous auction records and drew crowds to the early morning event. Iran has entered a 9th day of nationwide protests driven by economic hardship, with demonstrations reported across most provinces. Videos show crowds in Tehran and other cities chanting anti-government slogans. Human rights groups say at least 19 protesters and 1 security officer have been killed. U.S. President Donald Trump warned of possible American action if deaths continue, while Iranian leaders signaled both limited openness to demands and readiness to suppress unrest. Swiss authorities say all 116 people injured in a New Year's Eve bar fire at the Crans, Montana ski resort have now been identified. 40 people aged between 14 and 39 were killed when flames swept through the crowded La Constellation venue. Police confirmed 83 victims remain hospitalized, some critically injured, with at least 12 nationalities affected. The dead were identified earlier, but burn injuries complicated identifying survivors during recovery efforts. India's Supreme Court has denied bail to student activists Umar Khalid and Shahjeel Imam after they spent over 5 years in prison without trial over the 2020 Delhi riots. Arrested under strict anti-terror laws, they are accused of conspiracy in violence that killed 53 people. The court, however, granted bail to 5 other activists, saying each case required separate assessment of culpability and evidence by judges on Monday morning's ruling. Cuba said 32 of its nationals were killed during the U.S. operation that seized Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro, declaring 2 days of national mourning. Havana said the dead were armed forces and intelligence personnel killed in combat or bombardments, many believed to be part of Maduro's close security detail. Venezuela has not confirmed figures, while U.S. officials said surveillance enabled the strike. Reports suggest the death toll may be higher.